contacted by Fountain Pen Revolution, and Kevin asked me if I wanted to review some of his new pens, and I said, why not? Now, the interesting thing is, Fountain Pen Revolution has made Indian pens, I would say, quite widely available, which is very nice, easy to order. But now, Kevin has actually collaborated with a Japanese company for the first time, and that has led to the Tanoshii and the Tanoshii Junior. This is the Tanoshii Junior. It's a smaller pen, pocket-sized pen. This particular one has a flex nib, an ultra flex nib to be precise. So flex is always fun, right? People always enjoy that. So I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Let's get started. Okay, let's have a look at the Fountain Pen Revolution Tanoshii Junior. This is a pen, it's $83. It's a pocket-sized pen. If you know your pens, so to speak, this might remind you of a specific Delta pen. I will come back to that in likes and dislikes. The fact that it's labeled Junior means that this is the pocket pen. There's also a full-size Tanoshii, and those full-size Tanoshis are quite nice. They even have some lacquer on them, which is really nice, and that's probably the Japanese connection that Kevin mentioned. You can get this in orange, you can get it in blue. Obviously orange is the correct choice, right? Color of my royal family, because, oh, I'm such a royalist. I'm so pro-king. ... Not really. Anyway, 5.5 nib, so number 5.5. That's one of the sizes that FBR offers. Sorry, that means you can exchange nibs. You can get the nibs in extra fine, pardon me, through Broad. The Broad is a plus $4. You can get the Steel Flex, that's another $4, and Ultra Flex, which is what's on here, for another $17. It's cute, it's a pocket pen. The Flex option is nice. And when I say the Flex option is nice, I mean that because, first of all, people like Flex nibs, but secondly, I don't know a lot, if any, pocket pens that have a flex nib from the top of my head. They might be out there, but nothing immediately comes to my mind, so I think that is quite nice. Let's cover the parts of the pen. Top of the cap, sorry, I need to take a sip of tea. Top of the cap, the finial is black, just like the rest of the cap. We have this center band, which has a type of pattern on it. We have a little sort of ball. Again, this is very Delta-esque, which the Delta Dolce Vitas had a little wheel there. We have the barrel in nice orange, tapers down, and then you have this end cap in black. The pen unscrews. It does post, which for me is crucial. Posted, it's a reasonably sized pen. Unposted, I cannot comfortably use this. So for me, in my hand size, the posting is vital. We have a nice simple black section, tapers out, flares out a little bit. We have the Ultra Flex nib, which has the cutouts. This looks to me like a plastic feed. I know that on some of the other pens, like this Jaipur, when you buy this is Jaipur version 2, by the way, you get an ebonite feed if you buy the Ultra Flex nib. This looks like plastic. The pen is fed through a converter. I have seen these first as the Monteverde mini converter, but I mean, clearly multiple companies make these, or maybe it's the same company that makes them, that's more likely. And they get rebranded. I've had a little bit of issues with surface tension. I'll get to that. Overall, this is the pen. Let's see how it writes. I have put in Iroshizuku Konpeki, because with flex nibs I found that can make a difference. We get a very nice fine line. Oops, sorry, Junior. This is the Ultra Flex nib, and it's Iroshizuku Konpeki. You get a very nice fine line. Not my best writing, sorry. Which is nice. It is a nice little hairline. bit of fast writing. Feed keeps up pretty well. Overall wetness, fairly wet. Nice round nib, not broader on one stroke and the other. That looks a bit broader, but that was a bit of pressure. I'll try to be more careful. I'm known for my light hand. What we really want to see is the flex. I'm really pushing this quite hard. This is representative of what I have experienced when I was testing the pen. So it is, it's definitely a flex pen. It definitely works. You do have to slow down if you know what you're doing, and with me in flex, that's always a little debatable. But if you don't push it too hard, you can get a very nice amount of flex out of it. You see there was a little bit of railroading there. That may have been me pushing it a little bit too hard. If you are willing to not push it too much, I think you have a superb flex nib out of it. I found the larger Ultra Flex nibs on the Jaipur version 2, check out my review of that pen, to be wetter, but that I wonder if that's the ebonite feed. Overall, I don't think this is bad at all. It's definitely a flex nib and in a cute small package. Bit scratchy upside down, but it is kind of fun. So we have this. Now, let's discuss what I like and what I don't like about the Tanoshii Junior. The Tanoshii Junior, the full-size Tanoshii, has interesting, even Urushi I think I saw, which is very interesting. But this is the junior model, and the junior model is junior, it is smaller, it's a pocket pen. That means that for me using this unposted is not really an option, right? But if you like pocket pens, and I know a lot of people do, plus there are people with smaller hands who could use this unposted, I'm just not one of them, they might find this very attractive. Now, I like that this pen has some interesting features, nice nib options. You can get the flex, this Ultra Flex works pretty well. I felt that with this pen it likes a wetter ink. This specific nib and feed like a wetter ink to really do the flex work well. You have to slow down a little bit as you write with flex, but that's very normal. Most flex nibs require that. I know that a lot of the Ultra flex nibs at Fountain Pen Revolution come with ebonite feeds. This looks like a plastic feed to me. I forgot to verify that with Kevin, but it looks a lot like plastic and not like ebonite. Would be nice if we could have an ebonite feed in the future for this nib size, which is 5.5, so it's a number 5.5 in FBR terms. I like all that. The one thing I will say is I had some issues. This is one of those converters. I think Monteverde sold them at some point as Monteverde mini converters. It has a little ball in it, and I have found with this converter that that little plastic ball, the ball agitator, has a tendency to get stuck at the bottom and block the ink flow. I've had that with the Monteverde mini converters too, and here too right now I'm being very careful because there is ink. Yeah, there seemed to be a bit of a surface tension issue where the ink got stuck at the top, and that of course will hamper your flex. So this might be a pen that you have to gently tap on the paper when you're about to write with it so that ink actually comes down, because otherwise of course if the ink is up there the ink flow will stop, right? The final thing that I think we should point out is that this looks substantially like a Delta Dolce Vita. Those were celluloid, but they are this orange black with the ring with a little wheel. So I would consider this inspired by. The good thing is the Delta company is out of business, right? So that's not a good thing. But what I mean is, the Dolce Vitas are no longer in production. So if you ever wanted a Dolce Vita, they were available in this size. There was the really big one, but they came in all sorts of sizes. This might be a good way to try out if the model works for you, because to be fair, it's pretty much a one-on-one copy in size as well. So there is that Dolce Vita look to it for sure. Which is also a look that a lot of people liked. So whether or not that's for you, that's a different matter, but I think we've had this discussion a number of times in reviews of pens that were clearly inspired by another pen. Now the final thing I will say is $83 is not nothing. For a pocket pen, I think it's not nothing. Now this one does have that Ultraflex nib. That Ultraflex nib does add $17 to it. It is a good flex nib, so I'm not saying that price is not warranted. $83 for a smallish pen, cartridge converter filled, I think might be on the high end. And I would like to learn more, and I will talk to Kevin about that out of curiosity. I would like to learn more about what exactly this collaboration with the Japanese company means, and what it is, if they produce the whole pen or etc. Interesting pen, fun pen, cute pen for those who enjoy it, and that's it. Pocket pens are fun. They're pocketable, they're easy to carry around, they're small, they fit in breast pockets on shirts and such, so they have a lot of functionality, I think. That's it. I hope this was useful. A kind thank you to Kevin for sending me the pen, and I'd like to see you later. Bye bye.